This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Friday, August 11th, 2017. The title of this rant is Why the Republicans and the Loser Deny Global Climate Change. So the loser has taken the point, we're not going to do the Paris Peace Accords. He's going to hire Scott Pruitt as his Environmental Protection Agency guy, a classic climate change denier. But let's take a look at why they're doing it. So number one, let's look at pollution, if we talk about that as part of global climate change. The Republicans are committed to increasing pollution, and by increasing pollution, basically you're increasing profits to a very, very few individuals and corporations, and of course you're decreasing the health of American citizens. And of course, again, as I said, pollution is not all of global climate change. But look at the things that we need to be doing right now to combat global climate change. And if you don't want to admit that it really exists, that doesn't mean that you can't look at it in a way that will look at combating it and take active measures to combat it, because if it doesn't end up that it's not there, it's not going to hurt us any. But if it does end up there, it is going to hurt us any. So global climate change is much more than just pollution. But things we can be doing would be like, let's just say, intensive and extensive research and development for new technologies to combat it. Also, using existing technologies, investment in them to find additional solutions in that. Things like Energy Star efficiency, which the government has cut back on since the betrayer of trust has come into office. And that covers things like energy efficiencies for appliances, and of course we want to continue to do it with cars. We want to get every last drop of gas that we can. We want renewable cars, electronic vehicles. We want to increase our usage of renewables, increase our investment in renewables, increase recycling, and of course a whole host of other things. But why are the Republicans just adamant that they don't want to have anything to do with it? So number one, we have the fossil fuel industry, which has known about global climate change for years and has denied it, have created think tanks, have hired people, have done studies, basically because they want to get the kind of results that they want to get back at it. And of course, they also want to get the tax breaks for all of this. So what do they do with the tax breaks? They increase the money for themselves, and then they invest that money in the Republicans in terms of helping them get elected. So the Republicans are there to do their bidding, so to speak. And if we look at two other aspects, one is just the contrarian, the people who are saying, and I use Sean Hannity as an example, basically deny, and pretend that it doesn't exist. Say that he's read all this stuff. He hasn't read anything that tells him. Of course, he hasn't read anything at all. He's just towing the corporate line. And of course, he's just basically a paid stooge, and there are many, many others out there doing the same thing. But the big reason why they want to deny that global climate change is real is because their ideology is one that the government sucks, and we need to do everything we can to get rid of the government. The government is bad. Going back to the Ronald Reagan saying, the worst thing that you could ever have is for someone to say to you, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And the reason for this is that if they were to admit that global climate change is real, then de facto they would have to admit that the government must take a lead role in combating global climate change. And they don't want to do that because that loses them to their base. So the betrayer of trust and the Republicans are firmly committed to denying global climate change, to increasing pollution, to increasing profits to a very select crew, to harming people. And of course, as we could see, they do hold all levers of government, and they will wreak havoc over here. But as we can see also, they don't even know how to govern. They couldn't even get the health care bill through. But at the same time, it doesn't make any difference to them. Whatever is in their best interest, even if it's harming other Americans, is okay with them. And this is really atrocious, and it must stop right away.